Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. It's Monday, which means another DeFi Market update video. Today is the 24th of August 2026. Let's jump straight in and see what's been going on over the last week. Firstly, what a crazy week it's been. A huge increase for the price of Bitcoin. I recorded these figures a few hours ago this morning. I'm just uploading the video this afternoon. So the price has actually increased a little bit. Bitcoin's currently about 78,000. It was 76,850 when I took the prices this morning. But that's up from about 63, was it? 63, 65,000 a week or so ago. So a huge increase in the price of Bitcoin. Also Ethereum. Ethereum's actually been the standout kind of performer. Solana also having a really big jump over the last week. The crypto market has had its biggest weekly breakout of 2026, up 20-odd%. Ethereum has led, as I mentioned before, led the major coins with a 27% weekly gain. That might be a fraction higher now, but around 27%. So a huge breakout for the crypto market in general. Happened a few days ago, about 4 days ago now. And just over the last day or so, it's kind of like settled, and then we're maybe waiting for either a next breakup or a little bit of a retracement kind of back down. But yeah, really big week for crypto. The total crypto market cap surged past 2.5 trillion, and volumes up massively as well. Those of us who are involved in DeFi will have noticed that within our liquidity pool suddenly after 2 or 3 really poor weeks where all the volumes were quite suppressed, we've had huge volume. So anybody that's in range is earning really good returns on their DeFi at the moment. And what kind of causes? Basically, President Trump has been pushing for the Clarity Act. We have now a reading on the 15th of September, so only a few weeks away now, 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks away. But the big sort of catalyst for this was this this announcement that the Treasury are going to be repurchasing a bond. So essentially money printing, by any other word, is still money printing. And that triggered this huge short squeeze. In terms of DeFi specific, total value locked up to 78.4 billion. That's up massively, really just because the price of the underlying assets has rallied massively in the last kind of week. We're still down 30-odd% from the January highs, and Ethereum dominance has gone up a little bit because Ethereum really led and has outperformed both Bitcoin and Solana over the last week. So the Ethereum dominance up a little bit as well. Top protocols remain pretty much the same, but all worth a little bit more because of the underlying assets. So Lido, 22 billion total value locked. Aave, 28+ billion now across their various chains. Sky, which is MakerDAO, very much known for its stablecoin infrastructure. Uniswap, the largest DEX, and Morpho has finally cracked that 5 billion total value locked. In terms of the headlines, so Term Finance unfortunately lost 8.5 million to a governance exploit over the last week. Aave has announced that they're planning an orderly exit from some of their low activity markets. So I think they're going to drop some of the smaller chains that they've been supporting. And apparently there's around 100 million in assets over those kind of chains that they're planning on kind of like retiring soon. But the big news, not necessarily DeFi related, really is this President Trump. He's really pushing for this kind of Clarity Act. We will see on the 15th of September when there is I believe a vote in the House. So we'll see what happens then. But the market tone has flipped completely over the last week, from very much a wait and see. A lot of people, including myself, expecting sideways movement over the next kind of month or so, and then probably a break to the downside. And what we've had is just this huge kind of pump, 20% odd on a very flat market, and with liquidity as well. So it'd be really interesting to see what happens from now. Do we consolidate around this kind of level and then, you know, was 60,000 the kind of bottom, or do we have a sideways movement now and then another kind of leg down, maybe back to test those kind of like lows, or even go a little bit below them? Be really interesting to see what happens over the next couple of months. But I think this next week or so is really quite crucial. I think looking at previous cycles, whenever we've broken over back above the 200-day moving average and held there for a kind of couple of weeks, that signaled the end of the bear market. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens over the next week, whether the bulls can push things a little bit further to the upside, maybe retake that 80,000 level for Bitcoin, or whether we get a bit of sideways movement and then a retracement. But let me know what you think in the comments below. It's always good to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching. As always, I hope you're all doing really well. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video. But until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.